Right, here we are again. So, I think today's efforts, I'm going to work my way around to the back of that wheel arch. We'll start here at the front. We can see this is all really thin, even though it looks like shiny paint. This is all really thin. So, I'm going to take out a strip, pretty much there. Wow, my fingernails dead sharp. Anyway, take a strip out to there. It's pretty much peppered a lot of the way over. I might just put a whole strip right the way over, you know. Yeah, I think that's the thing. And it's fairly flat, so it's not going to be a hard piece to make. So yeah, we'll cut all this out right up to there. Put a strip in. Point 8 will do. It's absolutely fine. And then we'll weld that in, and then see where we go from there. So, I'll tape it off for the tape line, for the cut line. Mark it all out, cut it out, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, so here's our cut line. And using tape is the easiest way to get an accurate cut line. Once you start getting sparks and everything else, you're not going to see small scratches and things in the paintwork. So this is the easiest way to get a cut line. Dead straight, and you can see it very easily. Right, let's get it cut out. Okay, so that's that piece cut out, and you can see, if we just look under this edge, sorry, this mask is interfering a bit, it's a little bit crusty under this edge as well. So if I push down on that from the other side, you might just, you see where this is, there you go, you see. So what we're going to do is separate that down the seam, cut out the piece from this side as well, and then we'll try and put a piece in that goes right the way across underneath this this supporting piece. Sorry about the filming, but I'm actually doing all this with one hand. Right, here we go. Alright, well that's the main cut done down to there. I'm just going to use me, it's a very old woodworking chisel that's been sharpened because it worked great with this. And it's just to get this last piece out here as it passes in like this. Let's see how you get on. Little tap with this. There we go, and that's out. Right, so now you can see all the edges are all cleaned off, ready for welding. There we go. And the reason I'm doing it from this end and working my way towards the back is that this will keep the basic shape of the structure, and I can work off the other weld which I did earlier. You can see that's the front edge of that wheel arch. I mean, yes, if you were doing a concourse restoration, yes, you'd shove a wheel arch in. Does it need one really? No. Is it going to look pretty? Well, it'll look better than it did before when it was full of rust. But I'd sooner it be strong than pretty. So I'm going to weld it in places where concourse restoration would never weld it. But it's going to be solid, and it's going to last a lot longer than what was actually in there 40 odd years ago. So, right, so now I need to make a cardboard template for that hole. Bring you back in a second and I'll show you that. Here is the side from an old brand flake packet, and this also, that thickness of card does really well for these. You don't need it too thick. You certainly don't want corrugated because that doesn't hold its shape very well. Not in this instance anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to press this up. I can't do it with one hand, so I need to just show you in advance and then get a job done. Is I'm just going to press that up to the back of the hole like that. I'm going to use my trusty pen and draw around it, and then we should have an ideal template for exactly the shape of metal we need to weld in. Right, bring it back in a moment. Right, and there we have, well, the perfect shaped cardboard thing for the metal patch to do the repair. As long as you're careful, you can't really miss, you know. Just don't make it far too small. Right, onwards. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do this. There's scribing onto a piece of steel. Either you can, obviously we're going to use this as a template, and you can use a scribe to basically scribe all the way around, okay, and you're left with, and you can just about see it in the sunshine. See that? You just see the edge of that light there, of the scribe mark, okay. Well, you can just about see that, and that's doable. But once that circular saw, or the grinder kicks with that 1mm disc in it, starts kicking into it and the sparks go everywhere, it's actually quite difficult to see. So what we can do to make it a little bit easier is this. There we go. So what I've done, I've basically put, as you can see, blue tape over the scribe line I put on there before. Now I'm going to put the template back on. There we go. Alright, and then we've got a perfect template just to use a pen and make a nice blue line, which is a little bit easier to see down the scribe line. Right, back in the set. And there we go. And I think you see probably that's a lot easier to see. Just have to make sure that that tape is well stuck down, otherwise the cutting wheel will just rip it off. Right, I'll cut that out and I'll bring you back in a second and we'll start fitting that up to the wheel arch. That is really difficult to do with one hand. Right, I'll cut the rest out. Right, now, okay, sorry about my voice, but I've got a mask on, a particular filter mask. Right, I need to use that to cut right along the edge of there, and I can't do that with one hand and film at the same time when I don't have a tripod. So, there we go. Well, that was easy enough. Let's see if we can't match it up to the car. Right, so we're back here again. Obviously, that wheel arch, as you can see, has got a curve, and this is a flat piece of steel. So we need to put a curve in this. I'm going to put it the right way around to show you. There we go. We'll put a curve in there, see if we can match the wheel arch, and then we can look at it for width and make a few adjustments for the fit. And that's with the curve I just put in, just by hand, just bending it over my hand. That's all it was. Seems to match the wheel arch reasonably well. Let's see if it fits the hole. And again, this is quite difficult with one hand, but I'll do my best. There we go. Nope, nope, yep, yes, no, yes. There we go, and it does fit, fits perfectly first time. And if you believe that, you believe anything. Right, I'm going to have to tack it in and then show you the rest of it, because it's really difficult to do with one hand. And this fits in quite nicely. It's not held in with anything at the moment, it's just sitting in the gap. Needs a little bit of fettling. And then, see this little bit here? Just, where's my finger? See somewhere? There you go, this little bit here at the top. That will push over because there's a little bit of excess on this side. So that will push over because it's just sitting in the gap at the moment. But I'll tack that in and then we'll go from there. Now this is all tacked in now. Some of it's been done from the inside. That's the penetrating weld you can see from the other side down the bottom there, because it's easy to reach from inside the or from outside of the car, but you know, under the wing. Quite thin, some of this metal. Not rusty, just thin. So a couple of holes, but a little gap to fill in just there. But that's all pretty much tacked in now, so I'm just going to seam all this up and I'll show you when it's done. It's actually too awkward to film while I'm welding. It's hard enough cutting with one hand, but to weld with one hand while you're holding a camera with another one is just a bit much. I haven't got a tripod just yet. So, onwards. Now this is all welded in. Not the prettiest in the world, but it's quite difficult to weld up against some of this metal. I don't know what's on it. I've tried to clean it. You do your best, and some of the gun angles aren't perfect, but it's great. It's you know, it's solid enough. Am I going to grind any of this weld down? Nope, not a chance, because you can't see any of it, and it's only going to weaken the weld. I might grind those down a little bit because it might make it hard to fit a carpet later on. Yeah, so I'll just tidy that up, and then I might even call it a day there. We'll see how we get on. One thing you can see is that the inner wheel arch the original one came up to meet that flange that you can see just here at the top. You can see this. Where is it? With your finger. There you go. This thing. So I'm just going to do is just tap the centre of this up. It'll stretch the metal a bit, and we'll get it to reach this this here. And we'll put some tack welds in, then we'll just seal that with sealer. To do that, I'm going to use a hammer which is actually shaped the correct way. That always helps. And I might even use one of the dollies. Where's the dollies? Here they are. I might even use one of these actually, and just something like this, and just tap it up from the inside, and that will give me the correct shape as well. We'll see how we get on. So there we go. Not the prettiest welds in the world, but they are solid. And that's the wheel arch just pushed up to that support there. I'll just grind that off, try and make it look a little bit prettier. And obviously when it's painted and seam sealed, you're not going to see anything. Yeah, another YouTuber say, is it, let a grinder in paint make me the welder I ain't. That's fair enough. Right, onwards. While we're here, we might as well get this piece welded in. That some genius had decided to cut into just to fit a pair of speakers to the back of the car. Well done. Right, let's get this welded in. There you go. That's welded up. No speakers there now. It's amazing how cameras can make paintwork look an awful lot better, but it makes welds look terrible. Let's see if you want to see the back side of that repair. I'll show you. There you go. All penetrated and whatever. Right, onwards. So that is essentially that for another day. This is the back side of that repair that you've just seen, all nice and solid. Tacked it up there, up to the support structure, and inside, obviously, you can see what there is there. Ground the welds down a little bit there, just to make the wheel arch a little bit smoother, because I don't know if I'm going to cover it with moquette or carpet or what yet, so it does need to be fairly smooth. But I'm not, you probably noticed after all this welding, I'm not priming it and hitting it with Gravitex immediately after, because I don't know if I need to do some more welding, possibly in this area, because I'm going to fit 5-point harnesses to this, so I don't know where they're going to be mounted to, and I don't want to hit the panel with paint or primer or Gravitex and then just have it burn off with primer, with welding. So yeah, that's it. I'll go inside the house and upload this. More next time. Onwards!